topics and switching tone. Those who battle addictions tend to struggle more around the holidays than any other time of year. Chris McIntosh of Turning Point Centers says there are concrete things families and friends can do to rally around those that you love and show support. Good to see you, Chris. Thanks for being here. Let me ask you why. Why do we see addiction issues really flare up and become a problem, especially around the holidays?
Well, I think the holidays are stressful for anybody, and then you add in the family dynamics and the stress levels, and those things compound. And you know, if someone's already vulnerable, then their addictions typically, get to be a little more severe.
That makes sense. You mentioned the pressures then and the stress that can be on the rise this time of year. Is now then a bad time to maybe approach the idea of addiction intervention if you're worried about someone in the family?
No, absolutely not. I think if your loved one expresses any desire to change or any interest in getting some help, then you need to strike while the iron is hot, for sure.
What are some conversation starters? I imagine that's a very intimidating conversation to have with someone that you love so dearly. How can we get that conversation going?
Well, I think the most important thing is remember, it's not always exactly what you say, but how you say it and the intent with which you say it. So the most important thing is to remember that you love this person and you're trying to support them, and you have to separate the person that you love from their addiction, which is their behavior. And so a lot of times a good lead-in piece is to say, I love you, but I don't love the behavior. I want to support you, but I can't support this. And be specific. Stick to the facts, things that you know. Don't speculate. If the details are a little fuzzy, you'll want to leave that alone. But definitely be kind, compassionate, and make sure that the person doesn't feel abandoned or threatened in that conversation.
What if they show resistance? What if they say, hey, I don't want to take that step. Maybe I'll wait till after the holidays. They keep putting it off. What's a gentle way to push, or should you push?
Well, just remember, the goal isn't to get the person to commit to lifelong sobriety right at once. So you just want them to take that first step. So getting them to agree to go in and speak to somebody or to see a counselor or to get an assessment is definitely a step in the right direction.
What sort of addictions do you help treat, Chris?
We treat chemical dependency, process disorders, gambling, things like that. We also treat people who struggle with depression and anxiety with no history of substance abuse. So really anyone who's struggling in that respect.
And you mentioned an assessment. What can be determined in that first conversation?
So an assessment would be sitting down and getting a full history with a clinician that can then, determine what the person's diagnosis is and what the appropriate level of care looks like.
So that sounds like the important first step.
Absolutely.
Do you have a website where people can go if they have more questions?
Yeah, they can view us online at turningpointcenters.com.
And where are you located?
In Sandy.
Okay. Helpful information. Important topic too. Chris, thank you
for
the work that you're doing. We'll be right back.